What is up, Sportscast? Welcome to the Sports and Stuff Show, the Kings of Comedy. I'm Carter,
I'm Adam.
And I'm Kanan.
and let's get right into it.
Man, it's literally right in front of your intro. You talked about our intro.
I was scared.
Oh my goodness, you were scared of
All right.
the name.
We have
Right.
3 important updates.
Yep. So we decided we have a new recording schedule off the new year. We've been a little inconsistent, so we got this finalized. We're recording Tuesdays at 3:30 and Fridays at 3. So that's gonna once we get our live set up, that will be the time that it gets out. But for now, it's probably gonna get out on Wednesdays and Saturdays, our episodes. So yes. Jaden, he is with us. He is a Broncos fan.
Unfortunately, yes.
Yep. And that
And
is all that
Clippers.
is on the script for that.
Yeah.
One more update.
And that is also not an update on there that Carter put. So
I'll read it.
that's it. No, you don't need to read that. If you read that, I will literally end you right now on the air.
Everyone
On
drop
air.
congratulations, Adam, in the comments.
No.
No,
don't do that.
no context.
No context.
No
don't do that.
context. Just drop congratulations.
do it.
Yep.
Very important.
Anyways, onto the NFL. We're back with the NFL talk. The very first topic we had was Josh McDaniels getting fired. So, with him being fired, as we know, and we've posted about, that begs the question. Who is the new worst coach in the NFL?
Head coach?
Head coach.
Brian DeBoll.
Did you say DeBoll?
What? First of all, you said his name wrong. Second of all,
DeBoll.
not
Isn't
even
it not
close.
DeBoll?
Dable.
Dable.
DeBoll?
Same thing. Giants suck.
I mean, okay, guys that come to mind are Brandon Staley.
Yeah.
Oh, Brandon Staley.
I know he just got there, but
Yeah.
Jonathan Gannon.
Yeah.
Arthur Smith is in the
Oh, okay,
conversation
yeah,
for
I think-
sure.
yeah.
I feel like it's one of those 3. Maybe throw Sean Payton in there.
Okay.
Yeah.
He's been terrible.
He's been really
I mean,
bad.
It's not, okay. Our defense.
All right, he's not that low, but
Shake-
considering what's been given up
Okay.
for him, pretty bad.
Shaky start. Very shaky
All right,
start.
Shaky start.
Well,
They got 70.
okay, a little tangent. So if it isn't Sean Payton's fault that the Broncos are trash, then whose fault is it?
The first few games, I mean, it was definitely Vance Joseph. I mean, he's picked it up recently. I mean, we gave up 35 to the Commanders. I don't want to talk about the Dolphins one bit, but I mean,
They held
we were
back
the
too.
best. Okay, I said we because I'm a diehard Broncos fan. I consider myself part of the team, but we were the best. We've been like a consistently best defense for the last Super Bowl since the Super Bowl years, like 6 years, and
One of them.
one of them.
Yeah.
Last year, I think we were ranked. Okay, correct me if I'm wrong. Like 3rd or 4th.
I don't know what the rank.
Something like that. Something like that. How do we give up 35 to the Commanders and 70 to the? Okay, I don't care.
Maybe because the team sucks.
That boy Sam Howell kind of nice too. He's what? What's up
No,
with Sam Howell? He's good.
It's easy.
You've also said that about other quarterbacks like Desmond Ritter, who also just got benched
I
by
didn't
Taylor
say he
Heineke.
was good.
You were like, Desmond Ritter looks really good. He could be top
He was-
5.
I never
This
said that.
season,
I never
He said that after the Packers lost to
I will walk
the
out of this
Falcons.
right now. I
He
swear to
literally
God.
said that.
You're just putting words in my mouth again.
Sure.
This is ridiculous.
Sure.
All right. Whatever, man. That's
Sure.
ridiculous.
hate.
Stupid.
He rage
LA.
quit 5 minutes in.
Yeah, I'm thinking about it. 'Cause you're
Uh-huh.
lying out your camera.
Damn. All right. I'm going to bleep that with the dolphin noise.
Fuck.
I'm also bleeping. Okay. All right. Anyways, on that, what'd you say?
Remember when you
Yep.
said Josh McDaniels is going to win Coach of the Year?
No, I did not. I did not say
does that annoy you when people make?
No, I literally did not say that.
Hey guys,
Ooh,
wait,
interesting.
in the comments.
Neither
who's better,
did
Nick
I.
Chubb or Aaron Jones?
Oh my god.
Nick Chubb or Aaron
Okay,
Jones?
this was a mistake of an episode to make.
Okay,
I'm already doing that now.
Don't put words in
Alright.
my mouth, then.
No, you literally said that. Okay, but
You pull up a
alright.
clip of me saying Desmond Ritter would
You
be
didn't say
top
it on-
5.
Okay,
You pull that up. I'll do whatever. I'll
Okay.
do whatever you want.
it was off air. I remember it was in our house, but all right.
That's
Anyways, Josh McDaniels is gone.
I never said that.
I think, there's good arguments for Art Smith. And I think, I don't know.
The Giants suck. How are you? Why do you guys like
Brian Dable isn't as the biggest issue of that team. Like, there's
Mm.
way worse issues than Brian Dable, especially because last year he did pretty good
You're right.
with
He did good last year.
Daniel Jones.
He
Like,
did good last year. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I think they're not a great squad. They're not a terrible squad. They shouldn't be at the record they're at right now. What are they, like 2-7? Am I tripping? Maybe
no, I
the
think
Giants.
they're 4-5 or
Oh,
4
never
and,
mind. I guess I'm just tripping then.
or maybe 3-6, somewhere around
I
there.
don't know. I
Um,
thought they going into this year. I thought they were a playoff team.
I thought that too. I'm not
I
gonna
thought they were a
lie,
playoff team.
but
Honestly,
it's just I don't know. It was just tough. I got to go with Brandon Staley though. I mean, you have
Yeah.
Justin Herbert at quarterback, yet you make your team that bad. Like,
you see how stacked their defense is?
yeah,
Their defense is trash.
their defense has so many
They have
great players.
great
Like on
names, they
paper,
just are bad.
there's
Doesn't
trash
matter how the
altogether.
names are.
Exactly.
Like, that's the biggest thing with the Chargers is they have all the pieces there. They just need a better coach.
Fair point.
Like, literally, and you're just wasting Justin Herbert at that point.
I'm just thinking of the Raiders Chargers game a few years ago where they should have ended in a tie. They'd both make the playoffs.
Oh,
and
yeah.
What do you do? You like called a timeout and it like pissed off the.
That wasn't
think that
really his
was-
fault. They were going to try to win the game.
Yeah,
They weren't going to play
any
for a
team was
tie.
going to try to win the game. You're not going to help
Everyone's pissed at them for that,
you're not going to
though.
help your rival like in your division win or like get to the playoffs. Like, if you're going to win, you're going to try to win. Like, if you have the chance. They lied and
I
they said that
get
they
it.
were going to try to tie it, but there's no way.
I
They
get
literally
that,
weren't.
yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I think that's the biggest. I mean, Josh McDaniels is really bad. But I mean, we'll have to see, I guess.
As a
I'm
Broncos fan, I liked them.
trying to think
Actually,
of
never mind. They beat us. I don't know what I'm saying.
also like really bad coaches. I think we nailed quite a few of them.
Matt LaFleur.
Matt LaFleur. No, I mean, the
Yeah, he
team
looks,
around him
he
is
looks
really
real good
young.
without Aaron Rodgers.
The team is just really young around him.
And
Like,
bad because of him.
I mean, if looking at his record, I mean, you can't back that up. I mean,
Compare Rodgers without Rodgers.
obviously you're gonna have a dip without Aaron Rodgers, and you're also starting a quarterback that hasn't had literally any
Talent.
No, that literally has not had any shots. I want to talk about quarterbacks. Talk about Brock Purdy looking up the joint for the last 3 games, bro.
I'll take him over Jordan Love all week and
I'm
twice
not gonna
on
lie, I'd pick
Sundays.
Sam Darnold over Jordan Love.
Whoa.
That is.
I would. Darnold never really got a shot.
Yes, he did.
He did
Sam
with the
Darnold,
Jets.
he got a
He was
lot.
seeing ghosts, bro. Come on.
He got a shot. And he
Dude,
failed.
yeah.
And he
What's his
failed.
Darnold?
He got
And
2
Lance.
shots.
Where's Lance?
He had 2 shots. He
Cowboys?
also went
Lance
to the
is
Panthers.
the third stringer
Or
on the Cowboys
Who's the
right
second
now.
string on the Cowboys?
Cooper Rush.
Yeah. W.
But I don't know. I think those got to be in the conversation at least. Also, I forgot his name. Who's the Bears head coach? Eberflus?
Oh, yeah.
What? Why?
Eberflus.
Eberflus.
Bro, he's trash. He's
No, he's
bad.
not.
Not really.
He's
I
bad.
mean, look what they're working with.
They're doing
working
better
with
than they
Tyson I like.
They're doing better than they're supposed
Yeah,
to.
exactly. No Tyson.
How
Badgett
is he
hate,
doing bad?
but, mean,
I don't
that's
know.
what
This
they're
is
rocking out
better
with.
than
I
they
don't
were
like-
supposed to be
I don't think that they're.
with an undrafted bad quarterback.
Yeah.
I don't think that he's that.
I mean,
good either.
I guess he wasn't that good with Fields in, but
I don't know if that's his fault.
yeah, it's not really his fault. Fields was really not playing
He
good.
wasn't playing that great.
So you
but-
can't blame the coach for bad quarterback play entirely.
Mhm.
Not
I mean,
entirely.
Not entirely. Partially, not entirely.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, and then going off of that, like on quarterback play, we have Zach Wilson. who
Trash.
Obviously,
Okay.
he stunk up the joint in yesterday's
He
game.
always
He
does.
didn't stink up the joint in yesterday's game.
Mm,
One
Only
great
dropping
Yeah,
6
I'm not,
points on offense.
I'm not saying he played.
6
I'm not saying he
offensive.
played
He
great.
took more sacks than they scored points on offense.
That's not okay. Do you see how
Yeah.
much time he has?
It doesn't matter how much time he has. He gets sacked all the time.
Yeah, like,
I'm
I
not
mean,
saying he has.
Zach Wilson.
I'm not saying he has good protection, but he is the cause of a lot of his sacks.
All I gotta say is like,
A
okay, look,
lot.
I'm behind the Jets, and I know we're gonna talk about that later, but I don't like if Aaron Rodgers is under that O line. I still think he's taking a lot of
They're
sacks.
obviously not that high.
Oh, you're
Aaron
right.
Rodgers knows how to get the ball out of his hands.
Yeah, and he also is accurate when he throws it.
You're right. But
Like, I mean,
Zach
that's
Wilson. I always got Zach Wilson.
And he's
though.
like 100 years old and still has better pocket movement than Zach Wilson.
Broncos.
yeah, I know.
Zach
So-
Wilson.
Even with the tortiquillis.
I mean, they all pale in comparison to apparently elite Desmond Ritter.
yeah.
W.
Um,
Desmond Ritter. Hate.
But I think that that's something where if I mean, we've been talking about it, and there's videos of him dropping back, and everyone's going crazy, and then he says, "Oh, it's gonna be a few fortnights away," just to build off of the Fortnite hype, I guess.
That essentially means 6 to 8 weeks.
Yeah. So, I mean, do you think that that's a realistic possibility that he's coming back?
No.
No, yeah, he's
I
not
think he'll
coming
be
back.
ready before the end of the season, but they'll be too bad for it to matter.
Yeah. I mean, I think everyone has to at least root for the possibility of the Jets making the playoffs and Aaron Rodgers making a playoff push, because that's a good story. Like, I think that that's something that people would be interested in.
NFL's not about stories.
I know, but like that would be a
What?
cool story
It's about
about
winning.
rooting.
The NFL's all about stories.
It's every sport.
The MVP every year is based on a story. Every year.
That's
You have to
that's
have a
the s-
story to win the MVP.
Okay, you're
The
right.
NFL's all about stories, dude. It's entertainment.
Yeah. But that's the thing is that would be such a what are you so confused
mean the
about?
NFL's not about
no,
stories.
I'm confused about
He's
what
having
you're saying right
static
now.
in his head right
I
now.
know. I'm really confused right now. Like, okay.
He doesn't know what a story is.
No, I don't.
Oh, go.
I know what a story is, but like the Super Bowl winner, like the NFL at the end of the day, as like okay, as a fan, I guess from my perspective, is all about winning. Like I'd do anything to watch the Broncos win. I don't care who's under center. I don't care what the story is. I don't care. That's all. Like that's all people want is just to win the Super Bowl usually.
Yeah, I know, but it
Stories
also
help,
helps.
though, when you don't win the Super Bowl. Stories are a big part of the NFL.
Yeah.
Okay, I just don't like the stories. To be honest.
I don't think a story is as necessary for the NFL as it is for the Heisman. I think the Heisman is way more story reliant.
I completely
I
disagree.
disagree with that too.
No, Heisman. If you have a Heisman storyline, then you're gonna win. Like that, I
I
think
think
that's
storyline matters
more.
a lot more for MVP.
I don't know. I don't think so. I
I
mean,
don't think it's
I
very
agree.
close
I mean,
either.
that's just not for NFL too. I mean,
you just said
And
that there wasn't
NBA
any
as
story
well.
involved.
I was
at
talking
all.
about winning. I was confused about that. I didn't know you guys were talking about award races. I'm talking purely about winning.
Yeah, but I think
plays a little bit of factor into winning too.
yeah. I mean,
I disagree with that.
A
If your
team with a
team's
better story
yeah.
sometimes gets a little favorable things.
Yeah, and
You're
they
not
also
wrong,
win
it's just
more.
annoying.
People cover stories more when
When are
you're
the Broncos
winning.
getting a story?
When they start winning,
They had a story. They had washed up Peyton Manning in his last year win the Super Bowl. That's a story,
yeah.
right?
I don't want to talk about it.
Now they
Okay.
have a story. They traded their whole future for a washed up quarterback and washed up coach.
Okay, he's not washed
All right. So
Which one?
Not washed up.
Which one?
Which one? What?
The quarterback or the coach?
Oh no, Russell Wilson's not washed up.
I mean,
So Sean Payton is?
I don't know.
maybe
yet.
not
We'll
washed
see.
up, but he's not what he was.
He's not. Oh,
Yeah.
obviously. I mean, I expected that. I just wanted an average quarterback.
You traded an amount that would assume he stayed what he was.
You're acting.
Though.
I didn't trade.
Hey,
Yeah,
you're part of the
you
team.
signed off on the
You
trade.
said-
Hey,
You signed
you
off on the
said-
trade.
Hey, I'm part of the team. I do not have any involvement in their tradings. We traded way too much for them. We traded Drew Lock. You're sad.
You think Drew? You okay?
Drew
Genuine question.
Lock under last year's team, we are a playoff team. I will argue with a wall with that.
With the
You're gonna
wall.
have to argue with a wall about that. And that
Drew Lock was never given a chance.
He
Drew Lock
was.
is so. We did. He got like what? How many offensive coordinators and coaches did he have in his career? How many weapons does he have? Cortland Sutton was always hurt. He had actually one good year with Cortland Sutton. They went to the Pro Bowl.
And he
but
lost to Geno in Seattle for the starting job.
that. And I hope.
They brought him
I
in
hope
thinking
Pete
he was.
Carroll put
I mean,
Drew Lock
Geno
in
was
the league.
lights out the first half of that
Yeah,
season.
exactly.
I know, but if he's all that great,
Geno
then
was,
he would have.
Geno was top 10 the first half of that
I know,
season.
but if he would have been that great, he would have beaten
Well, I
out
don't think
Geno
he's
Smith.
saying he's top 10.
I'm saying
He would have had to
top
play.
one.
No, seriously.
Top
though.
one.
He
Drew
would have
Lock.
had
no,
to.
yeah.
He would have had to play like top 10 to beat out
Yeah.
that version of Geno. Obviously,
you're
Geno's not that anymore, but
I just need
He
to see
was.
one more chance from Drew Lock. Trade. The Jets need to trade for Drew Lock. I love Zach Wilson. I
yo,
love
that'd
Drew
be
Lock.
awesome.
I
That'd
love
be
Zach Wilson.
wild.
I love Drew Lock more.
Mid quarterback for mid quarterback.
I mean, you can't trade anymore though.
Actually,
Yeah.
oh yeah, trade season's over.
I wanted to see Jameis get moved and start.
That's not. Yeah,
I miss Jameis.
yeah, eating W's left and right.
50 touchdowns, 30 interceptions.
I mean, I don't know why we're talking about any of these guys and we're not talking about Desmond Ritter, but
Top 5 quarterback.
I'm going to beat that like a dead horse for you lying on camera.
That literally is what you said.
I
Okay.
would
but-
literally put
okay.
both of my testicles on the fact that I did not.
Lying's a
okay.
sin, Brad.
Yes, seriously.
Braj? Call me Braj.
I tried to go
Just call me
British.
Braj.
You're
on
going
air.
you're going to hell.
Brad,
Braj.
be honest. Do you
You're
like this
you're
one?
going to
Braj.
burn for eternity for saying that.
Okay, but I'm not gonna lie though. In your defense, I did put
Don't
Desmond.
defend a fake take.
In your defense, I did end up putting Desmond Ritter on my fantasy team because I was like, okay, maybe he has something.
I
Then
never said that.
and then he stank up the place.
The words
and then Taylor
top
Heineke
5 and
benched him.
Desmond Ritter have never entered the same sentence before today for me. Ever.
I mean,
Ever.
also
Not
What if
even
he's like
remotely
26?
close.
what?
Isn't he like 26? Isn't he like old as heck?
Yeah,
He
he's
is
not
really
good.
old.
I
He
just
looks older than he is.
I do remember saying he was looking good at a time, and the Falcons added some weapons. They had a better than expected season last year, so I said, okay, Desmond Ritter might have something. Top 5 never even crossed my mind.
Okay. All right. But back on the Aaron Rodgers thing, you said no.
I'm more
You said
likely
no.
to get into a sorority than having said that.
I think
KYO even. I'm so sorry.
oh
NFL
Oh,
playoff
my.
predictions.
yeah, NFL playoff predictions. Just moving on. Just forgetting those last 10 minutes. Carter, do you want to start the AFC?
All right.
Okay,
So-
do you want to go AFC, and then we go NFC and like in one
I'll do
like
that.
that?
Yeah, I
That
don't
work?
care.
Okay, that works.
AFC. I went through this on Playoff Predictor yesterday, so this isn't just like spitballing this. I went through every game and predicted it. Number 1, I have the Kansas City Chiefs. Number 2, I have the Baltimore Ravens. 3, the Jaguars. 4, the Bills. Those are your division winners. Your wild cards are going to be the Bengals, the Dolphins, and the Browns. And that's my 7.
All right. And then now I'll go, I guess.
Okay.
So I've kind of been on the Chiefs a little bit this whole year. So I ended up putting them at second. I still think they're going to be good and win the division, but I don't think they're going to be the first in the AFC. So I have the Ravens at first. They've looked really good. And then I have the Chiefs. Then I have Miami winning the East. I have them winning the East, and then Jacksonville winning the South in the final spot. So those are the division winners: Ravens, Chiefs, Miami, and Jacksonville. And then the 3 wild cards: I have the Bengals, then I have Buffalo, and then I have the Chargers sneaking in just barely. All right.
Chargers, ew. All right, on to me. I mean, for AFC, I got I think they're the same as Carter's. For the division winners, I got Chiefs, Jags, Ravens, Bills in that order.
I didn't have that order, but yeah.
Well, no, you didn't have that order, but you had those as division winners.
I think we have all of the, or no.
No,
I'm
you
the
took
only one that has
Dolphins.
Miami.
Yeah, and then for the wild card, I got Bengals, Dolphins, and then Texans. CJ Stroud season.
I hope
I
so.
was
That'd be
thinking,
sick.
I was thinking about
That'd
putting
be
the
sick.
Texans in there. I low key think that they could
He's
make
already
a
top
run.
10.
Dude, he's tough.
All right,
He-
NFC. Number 1, I have the Philadelphia Eagles. Number 2, the San Francisco 49ers. Number 3, the Lions. And number 4, the Mickey Mouse division I'm going to give to the Saints, which may shock you considering that I am the biggest Desmond Ritter fan of all time, apparently.
They're gonna win.
I wasn't aware of this until today. Neither were you.
They're
No
gonna
one
win out.
was because it didn't happen.
Desmond
Winning
Ritter,
out.
You've gained a fan.
Anyway, number 5,
Desmond Ritter's fan over
Cowboys
here.
are locked into the top wild card spot. Number 6, I really don't know how this happened because they're a bad team, but apparently, as I was predicting games, I got the Packers at 6. I don't know how. They're a bad team. This won't happen. This is a terrible prediction. Number 7, I have the Seahawks, who are better than the Packers, too. I don't know why I have them at
That's
7.
a little targeted. I don't know.
It was targeted at a bad team.
It seemed like a little targeted at me. I'm just
What, I
saying.
got like
but,
3 and 6.
I mean, I don't even have them in mind. So I mean, I'm just.
I
Gonna
know.
Be honest.
That's why I'm confused.
That's true.
I just clicked through them and the Packers were there. I'm like, what?
So I mean, obviously, I hope the Packers make the playoffs, but in mine, I don't have them.
I also hope the Packers make playoffs.
Just so the
Just say
49ers can destroy them. Yeah. So in the NFC, I have the Eagles winning the first. They're gonna get the first spot. I have the Lions, which hate to say it. Why? I have the
Focused
Lions.
up.
I have the Lions at second. After that, I have the 49ers. And then to round it off, I have the Buccaneers, which, I mean, Mickey Mouse division. I think they're going to slide in. I don't know.
You can't call it Mickey Mouse division if you have 2 teams in
yeah.
the playoffs from it.
I think the Saints are going to squeak in. I mean, like,
Well, it's not a Mickey Mouse division.
okay, whatever. I think
growled at
Baker Mayfield. I think Baker Mayfield.
Maker Bayfield.
Baker Mayfield is gonna make it, and he looked really good against the Texans. It was just CJ Stroud is him, so he ended up just pulling out the dub, 5 touchdowns, which is ridiculous.
He's top
But
10.
I think look at Desmond Ritter. Because Desmond Ritter, CJ Stroud,
Russell Wilson,
Russell Wilson. Oh God,
Sam Darnold.
Sam Darnold
I hate
riding
being
up.
here.
So I have the Bucks squeaking in just last in their division, and then for the 3 wild card, I have the Cowboys. I think they're probably gonna have a way better record as the Bucks, but I think there's gonna be that 5th because the Eagles are winning it. And I have the Seahawks and I have the Saints.
All right. So here's exactly how it's going to go down. This
Did I just
isn't
get
this.
skipped?
Oh yeah, my bad.
I just got
My bad.
Value
My
doesn't.
bad. We're,
Fine.
there you are.
my NFC. I mean, I think yeah, you guys both did. Eagles won. Eagles are gonna get the bye week in NFC. Let's be honest. Then Lions, Niners, and then I have the Falcons winning the Mickey Mouse division. Very interesting.
You can't say Mickey Mouse either. You have 2 teams in there too.
I did not know I had the Saints in there until I just looked. I'm being honest, but it looks like I'm rocking with that take. But we got Falcons, Cowboys, Vikings. I think the Vikings will slip in. Shout out my boy Josh Dobbs.
He's the biggest Josh Dobbs fan I've ever met in my life, which
Bro,
isn't saying a ton,
Josh
but he
Dobbs,
loves the man.
Drew Lock, Zach Wilson.
Every completion I hear Josh Dobbs masterclass.
Masterclass game.
Okay.
Put
No,
the world
last
on
week it
notice.
was. Last week it
Put the
was.
world on notice. You've been hating on me all year. He was put in a terrible situation with the Cardinals.
I've been a Josh
He was
Dobbs
part
fan.
of the terrible situation.
I've been a Josh Dobbs fan this whole year because strictly based off fantasy, he has been a god savior
Loki
on a
is tough
team
in fantasy.
on a team that lost my quarterbacks because Kenny Pickett is trash and Aaron Rodgers blew out
Died.
his Achilles.
That was the-
He died. Josh Dobbs stepped in and he became clutch. He consistently gets me at least 20 points a game. I don't know how, but
No,
he
he does. I looked at
20 a game?
20 points a game.
He's dropped like 4 or 5 20
Wild.
here. Yeah.
Well, that's not. That's half.
My quarterbacks
He's
are
getting
Baker
consistent
Mayfield.
17.
My
Sorry.
quarterbacks are Baker Mayfield
Still
and
good.
Josh Dobbs for fantasy, and that has been saving my team.
That's wild.
It's wild, I know, but
All right, so here's exactly how the playoffs are going to go down. This isn't a prediction. I saw it in a crystal ball. Wild card in the AFC. We're going to have the Dolphins upset the Jaguars in Florida. I guess they're both in Florida. In Jacksonville.
and it's a shocker.
It is in Florida.
I mean,
He's not
I
wrong.
mean, yeah.
He's not wrong.
The Ravens are
Okay.
going to beat the Browns. The Bills are going to beat the Bengals. Revenge for DeMar Hamlin. And, well, they just lost yesterday and DeMar didn't play. So here's my prediction. DeMar Hamlin plays in this game and the Bills win. Anyway,
Story.
Cowboys
Hamlin.
Cowboys make the Saints look like a JV team. The 49ers do the same to the Seahawks for the 2nd year in a row. And the Lions beat the Packers, knocking them out of contention for the 2nd year in a row. In the divisional, let's just go all the way through. In the divisional, I have the Dolphins with another upset going into Kansas City and beating the Chiefs. Tyreek Hill gets his revenge. Story. No, I like this Dolphins team. I think they're going to make some. I think they're going to.
They just lost to the Chiefs.
I know. And the Bills just lost to the Bengals.
Actually, I'm
I
not
know,
gonna
yeah.
lie. One of my picks are a team that just lost. I'm not gonna lie.
So shush.
You're right.
Anyway, Ravens beat the Bills, get their lick back for a couple of years ago. The 49ers beat the overrated Lions, and the Eagles beat the Cowboys. Lions are a very, very good team that has just a tad too much hype, in my opinion. Just a tad. Just a tad. Just a tad. You saw what happened the last time they played an elite team. All right. Ravens beat the Dolphins in the AFC Championship, and the Eagles beat the 49ers. I want to put the Niners in there so bad. I really do. I
honestly don't know why you didn't.
Because
I mean, like,
because the Eagles are a better team and will be at home.
Yeah.
no, he's
it's
just
that
doing
simple.
that to try to reverse psychology
No, they're just a better team.
to get them to win.
Deep.
That's
They're
what
a
he's
better-
doing. That's what he's doing.
Believe it or not, my prediction doesn't change anything.
Yeah. Do you think Brock Purdy's gonna watch this and be like, oh,
Yeah.
I got it now. No, the Eagles have a better defense. They have a more consistent offense. They're better in the trenches. They're more consistently coached. They'll have home field advantage. They're a better team, at least as of right now. I mean, we have a whole half season to go, but as of now, Eagles beat the 49ers. And then in the Super Bowl, I got the Ravens over the Eagles. Lamar Super Bowl MVP. there might not be a single quarterback playing better than Lamar this year. The Ravens look incredible in all phases of the game. They're on a roll, and I think as of now, they're my Super Bowl pick.
All right, do you just want to do Super
Yeah.
Bowl?
Wait,
Just
what?
do Super Bowl. Yeah.
All right. Basically, lots of cool stuff happened, and it leads to Bengals beating the Lions in the Super Bowl.
Okay.
Burrow time. What happened? The 5 seed.
Yeah,
5 seed. Bengals are gonna make a run, win the Super Bowl.
I
beat the
could see
Lions.
the Bengals getting
Burrow
there.
MVP.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Bengals too. I think it's gonna be Bengals Eagles. That's what I think.
Who wins?
I think Bengals
Oh,
too.
both got the Bengals
Yeah, I
winning
think
it?
Bengals.
Okay.
I don't know Joe Burr, but
Joe Burrow ain't even the best He ain't even the best quarterback in his division. Anyway,
yeah, that goes to Kenny Pickett.
it's not wild. There's no one playing.
No, I was talking
Lamar
about
Jackson.
his points he just made. No, PJ Walker.
Okay.
Oh God. Short.
PJ Walker.
TR. Mitch Trubisky.
Kenny Pickett.
No, Mitch better. All right. On to some NCAA. I think we're just hitting football here,
Yeah, I think so. And then we go later on.
and then we have a little game. But yeah, headline: Boise State sucks. And
Poverty franchise.
Eli McAllister, our best receiver. Is his name not
Eric
Eli?
McAllister.
Oh, I'm tripping.
Oh.
Yeah. Sorry. I am the only person
Sorry,
on the
Eli.
show who ever has messed up a word. He never messes up at all.
No, I
Ever.
only mess up numbers.
Never.
Only mess up
You
numbers.
messed up. You just tripped over your words like a baby giraffe 5 minutes ago.
And Desmond Ridder.
Joke's on you. Baby giraffes can't talk.
Exactly. I said trip like a baby giraffe. Anyway, Jesus Christ. Boise State sucks. They need a coaching change. People are transferring out, and it's going to just keep continuing that way. They keep starting Talon, giving him like 2 handoffs, and then putting in Maddox Madsen, and then rotating him out for some reason, because if you have 2 quarterbacks, that's a great situation, right?
Yep.
That works for everyone. No, it doesn't. Boise State football has been dominant for like 2 decades now. Andy Avalos gets hired, and every single year we take a step closer to the shitter. And here we are. Welcome to the shitter.
Whoa.
He needs to get out. I'm sorry. He's bad. Bush Hamden, the offensive coordinator, is arguably worse. Maybe. He's really bad. It's a really bad program right now that's they're on a very downward slope, and it's really sad to see.
Yeah. Same take. I thought Andy Avalos should have been fired his first year. I knew it wasn't going to happen, but I was on that boat. I didn't believe in him at all because our defense has always sucked, and he's a defensive coach. Like, I know and I get it. We get those stops sometimes.
Not really.
We get those stops sometimes in the red zone, occasionally. But
It's usually lucky turnovers.
and
Those are our stops.
yeah, and but we give up 500 yards for them to get there.
Oh, I know.
And 600
We let teams
yards.
control the clock and score on us, and we don't have the offense to keep up anymore because we have Bush Hamden as an employee.
Yeah. So
Free JT, seriously, dude.
I think he needs to get fired. I think that's the biggest thing that's ruined us. Like, I mean, Brian Harsin, he left us on good terms. Like, we were really good, and then all of a sudden we hire Andy Avalos.
Hire Kellen Moore.
Yeah, we should. He's not going to take that job.
No, he wouldn't. But imagine.
What the-
We should have just given Cutter the head coaching job, dude. I know he didn't want it, but we should have given it to him anyway.
We talked about it before. So Brian Harsin, he's here in Idaho because his son's here and playing high school football. So if I was
Give
Boise
that
State-
boy a scholarship and give that man a job.
Exactly. Like, I mean, if that's what it takes to make our team better and make money, Boise State has to do that. Like, I'm just saying, like, I mean, what is it going to do? And it's not like we like our quarterbacks we have anyways, since we're playing both of them. And we only give the funniest thing is
They
Talon's.
might both transfer.
The funniest thing
They
is
might both.
Talon's stat lines every single game is like they only give him 2 passes. He misses 1. Last game, I'm pretty sure it was 1 for 2 with a tud.
Something
it's
like
like-
that.
Like, bro,
he only threw twice.
he only threw
Listen,
twice, and one of them was a touchdown.
I haven't been super quiet about me being disappointed with how Talon's look this year because I don't think he's better than last year, which is frustrating for a player like that where it's a lot of raw talent that is not being put together. You would hope for some improvement. I think a lot of that blame is on coaching, though, and he still has shown flashes. I mean, what game was it? It was a couple weeks ago, the game where he just threw an absolute dime down the sideline for a touchdown to start the game. Next drive, he's out.
Yeah. It's
I
ridiculous.
I don't understand that. If you're going to alternate, at least ride the hot hand. And there were multiple drives in the last couple of games where Madsen would hit a couple throws and then they'll yank him.
And
It doesn't make sense. Ride the hot hand if you insist on doing a 2-quarterback system, but even better, don't be an idiot and use 2 quarterback.
I totally get it that Maddox Madsen, he can sling it.
He's not bad.
He's not bad.
He's not bad.
But I think
He's limited.
Yeah. I think the biggest thing is you went with Talon and you moved off of a quarterback that was
And a
throwing
coordinator.
Yeah, that was for Talon,
Mhm.
just for you to not put any time and effort into
Yeah.
developing him as a quarterback,
Yeah, I don't
and
understand
then
that.
you screw him up. Like, that's the biggest issue that Boise State has is we had something to look forward to. We were even talking about this. We were talking about if we beat UW, we're going undefeated because we had faith in
We really-
JT,
we
had
really
faith in
did say that.
Talon, we had faith in Milani,
That
which
one I did say.
we had faith in McAllister. We had faith
I
in
still have faith in JT and McAllister.
Yeah, I
They're
think
great.
we had faith in all of them, and
So
then
they
the
transferred.
offensive coordinator's just, and the
Coordinator's bad. The quarterback play hasn't been what it needs to, and
Coaching
the defense hasn't been what it needs to. Hey, good
Yeah.
thing we hired a defensive head coach, right?
Yeah, 'cause that's
Anyway,
always worked, even in the NFL level. Like
moving way off of Boise State, let's go to the playoff prediction.
Yep.
So we're gonna give our 4. I think at least 2 of us got some honorable mentions. Oh my lord, I just saw yours, Kanan. What the heck? Okay.
I'm ready.
So at number 1, I have the best team in the country, which is Michigan. I have them beating Ohio State, and I mean that's really all they need to do to make the playoff. They are
Yeah.
the best team in the country. At number 2, I have Georgia, who I don't necessarily think is the second best team in the country, but I don't see anyone on their schedule beating them. So I think after Michigan gets the marquee win against Ohio State, they slot undefeated Georgia in at number 2. At number 3, kind of the same story. Florida State doesn't really have any tests left on their schedule. They've played really well so far. I see them going undefeated, and if you're undefeated in a Power 5 conference, you're probably going to be in.
Yeah.
And at number 4, little bit of a dark horse, I guess, is Oregon. They actually do think they're a top 4 team in the country for sure. They took the loss to UW earlier this year because their kicker stinks, but I think that they're going to run the table the rest of the regular season, beat UW in the conference championship, and make it in as a 12-1 Pac-12 team. Honorable mentions, I got Ohio State and UW. I really wanted to find a spot for Ohio State, but I see the top 3 going undefeated. And if Oregon goes 12-1 with a conference championship win,
Beating UW too.
Right, beating UW, and Ohio State has a more recent loss than them without a conference championship because they are in the same division as Michigan. You can't put Ohio State in over Oregon if that happens.
Yeah.
And then obviously I have UW as an honorable mention. I have them losing to Oregon in the championship.
All right, on to me. All right, I agree with a lot of what Carter was saying, except for I think Ohio State is going to beat Michigan last game of the season. That's why.
I mean, whoever wins that game is
Whoever wins
number
that
1.
game's
Yeah,
done.
that's
Yeah,
true. I just
exactly.
don't think
So,
There is a scenario where they both make it.
number 1. I think Georgia's
Yeah,
locked
but
in.
they
You're
get
not
some
gonna,
losses.
Georgia's not locked in.
No, they're
They're
playing
not
Ole
even.
Miss
They're
and
not even one
Tennessee.
right now.
Yeah,
dude.
Ohio State's
I don't
one.
get
Ohio
it.
State's 1 right now.
No, Michigan.
I think Michigan's 3.
Michigan's 3 now.
All I know, Georgia can't be locked into the 1 if they're
Yeah.
not number 1 right
No,
now.
They gotta be number 1.
They're not right now.
I know, but I don't think. And I was a firm believer beforehand
If
of them
they're
not even.
neck and neck with 2 other teams and those 2 teams play each other, the winner of that will be ahead of Georgia.
No, but I think what and that was
Especially
the
when
issue
Georgia looks
beforehand.
kind of not.
I don't even think you should have moved Georgia from number 1 in the first place. If you're
I
undefeated
disagree.
and you were number 1, you should stay there.
Well, if
'Cause, I
there's
mean,
another undefeated team playing significantly better, I think you
Yeah.
do move that team ahead
I
of
don't
them.
know. It's tough.
Then it's
I don't.
purely opinion who put the number 1 team there first.
Right.
Yeah, but I think that Georgia
They were number
has,
1 because of what they did last year,
Exactly.
in large part.
Yeah.
This year, they have not looked as good as Michigan or Ohio State.
I don't know. I think Georgia's still top team in my
I don't
opinion.
think they've
but
looked as good as Oregon,
we'll go.
honestly.
We'll go with that.
But I have Ohio State at 1. I think they're going to beat Michigan. So that's where we disagreed.
That's valid, though.
So my thing with Georgia, I have them at 2, but I'm a little sketchy on them. I mean, they're playing a good Ole Miss team, a good Tennessee team. They back-to-back weeks. They just didn't really look that good last week. I still have them at 2.
They've
I
had
still have them
several weeks where they don't look
Yeah,
that
so
good.
I still have them going undefeated.
Yeah.
But I would not be surprised if they lost 1 or even 2 of those games against Ole
Really?
Miss and Tennessee.
Okay.
Those are some good squads. So that I still have them at 2. Florida State, cakewalk schedule. They're going undefeated. They're getting
For the
3.
rest of it, at
And
least.
then
Yeah.
I have Washington at 4. I think they're gonna come out and win the Pac-12. That's simple. I mean, if they literally opposite what you're saying with Oregon, I think the
Yeah.
Washington.
I mean, we have opposite takes on Ohio State and
Yeah,
Washington.
and then Michigan and Oregon are my honorable mentions. So it's literally
One of those will happen.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now,
Mine's a little wild because I kind of made it a little wild on purpose. Realistically, I think Florida State's gonna go undefeated, but on the off chance that they might drop one, which I could probably see happening, I just was going off of that. What I have for my top 4 is Georgia at number 1. I have Michigan at number 2 because I think Michigan's gonna beat them for the second year in a row.
If they beat
And
the number 1 team, they will be number 1. But
I think they're gonna go number 2. I have Oregon at number 3 because I don't think UW's going undefeated. I think it's really tough to do that in the Pac-12, and I think Oregon, like we talked about, was 1 field goal away from beating them last time. Like, I mean, obviously,
I
I know
think
that
it was it to go into
that
overtime
would've
or
gone
was it to win?
that would have
I'm gonna
gone
say
into
surgery.
overtime, but they would have won that game. I'm willing to bet.
I don't. I mean, we can't say that. We
I
don't know.
know.
all right, you're
It's
gonna need some elaboration on
At
this
the
next
end of the
game.
and
day,
then
you
this
yeah,
one
seriously.
this one right here,
This is a team I've been high on, and I think it's crazy.
I was looking at it, and I think if UW loses, which I have in this scenario,
To who
and
though? That matters a lot.
UW loses to Oregon,
Okay, so Oregon's probably in.
and then so Oregon is in, and then I had Florida State losing, and then I
To
had
who?
I don't know. I think they're going to drop one of the games. I'm not really sure.
They're playing 3 unranked teams, and they're all in
I
the
just-
ACC.
I know, but if they lost one of those games, they're out of the top 4.
You're right.
So I have them
yeah.
dropping. I have them dropping out of the top 4, and then right up there, I think Texas is 6 right now.
So how do you warrant?
Texas is.
Hold
sorry,
on.
I'm sorry.
If Michigan does beat Ohio State, how do you warrant Texas over Ohio State, who is the current number 1 team in the country, by the way?
Exactly.
I think they drop. If they lose, they drop.
Well,
and
yeah,
Tex-
they'll obviously
already
drop.
right. Texas is right there. I think in some scenario, and I obviously said too, this is just something I just kind of threw out. I think hypothetically, if Michigan beats Ohio State, which I think they are, I think Texas is going to slide in because they're right there. They're like
In
right
my
there.
opinion, based on what happens pretty much every single year, if the number 3 beats the number 1, the 3's going to go to 1, and the 1's going to go to 5.
Shit.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
I think I don't
5
know.
for now, while there's still
Yeah,
other
you're right, you're right,
undefeated
you're right, you're right,
teams,
you're
you know.
I don't know. I have Oregon or I have Texas slipping in. The only thing I was a little afraid of is Oregon at 3 because I
That's
think
the only thing you're afraid of?
I think Oregon that was tough because I wanted to put Oregon at 4, but with Texas sliding in, that would put Oregon at 3 because there's no way Texas would be over Oregon in this scenario. But that's mine is Georgia, Michigan, Oregon,
Hey,
Texas.
I know this is crazy to say. Watch out for Alabama. They still
I
only,
know, dude.
I-
they
Alabama's right
still
there.
only have 1 loss.
I
Think they
agree.
were Texas
They
too, though.
still yeah,
but
but
Texas is in the
Alabama's
Big
better.
12. Texas is in the Big 12.
Yeah, but
Oklahoma-
I
Texas.
know
Texas-
Texas beat them, but Alabama has 1 loss in the SEC.
Yeah.
If they run the table in the SEC and win the conference championship,
You're not
they're
wrong.
top 2.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
Now they probably won't, but
Mhm.
second half Bama has been the best team in the country. And I don't mean second half of the season.
They also have
I mean
Saban.
the second half of the game. They turn up.
a lot of crap has happened for this one, so that bear with me on this one.
I
But
swear to God, if
I-
you say LSU.
No, I'm not
Okay.
saying LSU. But I'm really high in this team, and again, a lot would have to happen for this
He's
one.
gonna say Boise State.
I'm gonna say Oregon State.
Okay. Anyway,
Yeah,
moving
Boise
on.
State.
We have a new we
No,
have
Oregon State
we have a
team.
new little game thing. It's it's kind of to help us keep a little more track of college basketball, hopefully help you a little more cuz there's a ton of games. It is hard to keep track of and there's a lot of games you just simply have no reason to care about.
Yep.
So, it's going to be it's tentatively titled King of the Court. We may change that.
Mhm.
We'll see. So I spun a wheel.
I spun a hyperboreal wheel.
Spun a wheel of all the college basketball teams in the country in Division 1 at least, and it landed on Virginia. So Virginia is going to start with our crown, right? They are 1-0 right now. They beat like Tarleton or whatever recently. So they hold the crown as long as they continue to win. If you're familiar with the idea of imperialism, it's basically that, honestly. But they hold the crown as long as they continue to win. As soon as they lose, they vacate their crown to the team that beat them, and this is going to repeat all season until the start of the conference tournaments. The day conference tournament starts, it stops. And so it's basically our king of the regular season and it starts with a random team, so it really could end anywhere.
Was it-
Some really good team could hold it all year and get upset in the last game of the season, and all of a sudden, Middle Tennessee is our champion, right?
Do you guys want to guess
I don't know why
what
I'm
our
throwing
ending
shots
is
at
going to
Middle
be?
Tennessee, but
Do you want to guess?
there's thousands
probably-
of games.
I know. Bro, I feel like it's gonna end with Creighton or something. That's gonna be
Creighton.
What's Creighton? It's Creighton. I don't know.
Boise State.
Boise State. It's gonna end with dude. That's so funny.
Ends with
That would be
James Madison.
wild. if it
I mean,
ends
are
with-
we really guessing teams?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna throw out. See, Virginia's in the. Oh, the conference
The
play
con-
is a big
yeah.
thing because
St. Mary's?
The
because
thing
it's
is, they
it's gonna
can
move
move-
conferences
Mary's-
a lot these first couple weeks,
Yeah.
and then it can.
Stay in the
Then it'll
conference.
probably
it could
narrow
stay in the
down.
Yeah.
Now there are some interconference games, but I mean we can't extend it through March Madness just
No.
because then the champion wins. and
Yeah.
that's boring. Does Virginia go undefeated in
There's no
conference
way.
play? I'm gonna say the Big 12 ends up with it, and I'm gonna go Texas.
Okay, that's fair. What do you think?
Ooh, onto me. I mean, I love the Big East. I'm a Big East guy.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, last year in my bracket, I don't want to talk about Marquette, but I was a big of the
Dude,
Big
I
East.
had Marquette too.
And I am gonna throw out Providence. is going to
Ooh,
be
I
my team.
like it.
Mm,
I like it.
Interesting. Yeah, so we have Providence, Creighton, and then Texas.
You had Creighton.
Creighton.
Two Big East teams.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. So that is king of the court for now.
Yep.
And Virginia holds our crown at the moment.
We'll give
I
updates as it goes on
don't
too.
actually know who they play next, but let's move on to some NBA because there's some stuff happening.
We talked about this a little bit with Gabe, but that episode was a little tough on my end because of me being a little rusty with getting all the stuff set up.
By the way, Virginia plays Florida on Friday,
Mm,
Ooh.
that'd be an interesting one.
both
Uh,
unranked as of now.
I think. Oh, so on to NBA. We talked about this a little bit with the Gabe episode, but it's a little tough because of technical difficulties on my end. But we did talk about the James Harden trade, but we also have a Clippers fan here, so we have a Clippers perspective of this trade.
Yeah. I was really big on it when I first saw the news, but I just don't like it, honestly. I mean, you saw in the
Really? You were hyped.
I was really hyped, I know, to start it, but I mean, even before the Knicks game yesterday, which I do not want to talk about one moment, but
How many turnovers?
23. But
Zubac.
but don't get me started on Zubac. But I don't know. I mean, we were cooking to start the year. I mean, I know this is still the start of the year, but I mean, we looked low key unstoppable when everything's working, and then now we add an extra star on the floor who needs the ball to produce. I mean, which leads to Kawhi Leonard standing in the corner, Paul George standing in the corner, Russell Westbrook having the ball, or James Harden, Russell Westbrook are two of the most turnover heavy people we've seen the last few years. Like,
Yeah.
it's just I don't know. I mean, and we low key lost defense on it too. I mean, we were really good defensively.
Not low
before.
key.
We lost defense because of it. I don't know. I don't like it. I really don't. I wanted to strengthen the center position because I doubt Ivica Zubac is going to be watching this, but please pick it up. But
I don't know. I didn't
He's a
fully
constant fan of sports
understand.
and stuff.
I get the appeal of having James Harden, and I think James Harden is still a star. He was playing excellent in Philly last year for the most part. But I mean, you lost some bench pieces. You lost the few remaining picks you had after trading everything, right? And now you just, I feel like you're in a situation with your top 4 players. And would you consider Westbrook your 4th best player?
dude, right with how it's playing right now, I'd consider him above Kawhi, but we'll talk about it in a bit.
Okay, but the top 4
Yeah,
are Russ,
yeah,
Westbrook, Paul,
yeah.
and Harden. Okay.
Yeah.
So your top 4 players, 3 of them are really ball dominant, I would say. I think that, I mean, Russ and Harden for sure. I think Kawhi can play a decent amount off ball. I think he's the best off ball of the 4. Paul George kind of in the middle ground
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
He's just, you hear this argument all the time. There's only one ball, right? And they said that a lot when KD signed with the Warriors, but the Warriors perfected it. They found a way to have nobody pissed off about touches, really.
Yeah.
And everyone kind of settled into their role. And the two top dogs took turns just closing out teams.
Destroying him.
I have never seen that level of chemistry on a team with so much star power. To be fair, I've never seen a team with that much star power, but you get what I mean. And it's hard for me to believe that a team with at least two guys who have forced themselves off of teams, when Kawhi and Harden, it's hard for me to see that level of chemistry happening there. The Warriors also had more depth, and their top-end talent was better than this top-end talent. And I would say they were probably better coached. So
Oh, yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I think they added more talent through this trade, but I think the trade might have weakened their chances.
We didn't need talent.
Yeah, you
Like,
need health.
We need exactly. Okay.
And
yeah,
and it's not like Harden's been the pinnacle of health lately either. So I don't know. I think it'll be fun to watch. I just don't know how I don't know how well this is going to translate to playoff basketball,
yeah.
especially in the West, where to win the West, you're gonna have to go through Jokic, and you're gonna throw Zubac and who else at him?
Exactly.
What are you gonna do?
But realistically, who are like any team? Who are you going to throw to stop Jokic?
Lakers,
Nobody.
Anthony
But
Davis.
okay, Anthony Davis did a really good job.
Yeah.
I
But they
know the
still-
Lakers got swept, but
Yeah, that
I
was-
will ride this to death. The Lakers were the second best team in the league
Yeah.
last year in the playoffs.
Yeah, unfortunately.
And I know they didn't win a game, but they pushed the Nuggets more than any team did by far.
Yeah.
Anthony Davis is playing great defense. It's just good, perfect offense beats perfect defense every time.
And like,
And
mind you-
Jokic was playing perfect offense.
and you saw some of the shots that Jokic were hitting.
It's
Like you got to just like
absurd.
tip your cap.
There's
at that
nothing
point.
you can do.
There's nothing you can do.
You got a hand in his face. He's got the
He's
ball back here from
7'2".
28 feet.
Exactly. It's
And
ridiculous.
it doesn't even draw
It doesn't
a
touch the
touch
rim.
of rim.
Doesn't touch the rim a little bit. Like
Yeah.
it's ridiculous. But when it comes to competing with the Nuggets, the Lakers are definitely the. As much as I hate to say it, I hate the Lakers.
I
but
don't think they are now, but they were last year.
I still think they are.
I
now.
think really
if the only team I would, and this is
they're not playing very well.
This is a team that I actually think that could compete if things start clicking either this year or this may be a next year type thing. I think the Thunder.
I knew you were going to say that.
I think the Thunder.
Here's the thing about the Thunder. They have way too many picks to use them all.
That's true.
And they have a lot of young players. I could be fact checked on this. I believe they have a good amount of cap room still. They could package some players or some young players with some picks and get a superstar.
How I see it though, I don't think they need a superstar. They need some role players. I think Shea is their superstar, and Chet is.
They
going
could
to
have
be the super.
two though.
Shea
and here's the
Chet are
thing.
going to be
Okay,
the superstars.
I understand that, and I don't necessarily disagree. But what do you do with all the picks? You cannot use all of them.
You're right.
And with that amount, you can get a superstar easily.
You're right, but how today's game's working is we see that acquiring a superstar doesn't necessarily make you good.
Not necessarily.
Not necessarily. Like it
But you
could,
need
there's a
one
chance.
though. I
Yeah,
mean,
you need one,
you
and
need
there's
one.
a chance.
I think
But-
if they can find a star who's not necessarily happy in a situation, has 1-2 years on his contract, you can throw some picks and some younger dudes that you don't use as much for that guy. Then if it doesn't work, you let him go.
I'm gonna be honest. I kind of disagree.
I don't know
think
who
they
that would
sit
be
on-
though.
I think they sit on what they have right now. I mean,
They literally have too many picks
I
to
know
use
they
them.
have so many picks.
So what do you do with them?
Keep shooting your shot, and if it doesn't work, they throw like if the pick doesn't work, I'm gonna cut them.
But you're going to be at the point where they're cutting top 15 picks the year they were drafted.
Yeah. I mean, it's tough. I think that you just go now and just trade them. At least try to get like.
Not
I mean,
like obviously not all of them.
work well with Shea.
That's
who's
what I'm
ball
wondering.
Dominant, Chet, who's post dominant. Like they just need, I guess, shooters, like just catching shooters. But like,
Not necessarily. I mean, you know who they should go get? OG Anunoby. I know he's not a star like I was talking about,
But
but
you
I feel
feel
like
like
no,
that,
that's
that
what I'm
fits
saying.
them.
Like role guys.
A th-
That's what I said earlier.
A
like,
really good 3-and-D guy.
yeah.
I mean, he should
Mhm.
probably stop dribbling, but a really good 3-and-D guy. Yeah,
No, yeah. That's what I think. The
that's a
Thunder
player
should
that'd be
do with
good for
that.
them. Jaren
Yeah.
Jackson Jr.
Ooh,
It popped into my head mid-sentence.
I don't think the Grizzlies would give. him up.
Probably not. I'm just talking about fits right now. He
I
can
think they
stretch the floor. He's an elite defender. He's great on
How are you
offense.
scoring in the paint against JJJ and Chet?
You're not.
Yeah,
You're not.
yeah,
And how are you stopping Shea, JJJ, and Chet?
exactly.
Especially if you put with shooters around them too, you're not stopping them. But
Mhm.
all right, that's pretty much all the time we have. Me and Kanan have to go play like Shea and Chet. Well, not Shea and Chet, but healthy Kawhi and PG. So on behalf of Kane and Adam and I, we want to say thank you for listening. Make sure to follow all our socials at Sports and Stuff Show on everything except Twitter, which is SNS_show. Make sure to catch our episodes, which should be out Wednesdays and Saturdays from now for this foreseeable future. And yeah, you can listen on any platform after the show has gone live. Thank you, and we will see you in the next one.
Peace.
Peace.
Thanks for having me.